up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Hi, if you don't know me, my name is Clara, and if you do know me, hey, it's Clara. Okay, so for today's video, the original plan was actually going to be 22 things that I learned by the age of 22. However, I turned 22 in May. May is quickly approaching again, and so since it is the end of the year and we have all the New Year's vibes happening, I figured I would do 24 things I learned by the end of 2024. Okay, starting off strong with number 1. You get tested the most when it is time for you to elevate. So, jumping right into this. So I'm kind of mad that I made this one number 1 because I feel like it piggybacks off of a lot of the other ones that I talk about. But I'm going to do my best to kind of explain it just first and foremost. So again, you get tested the most when it is time for you to elevate. I feel that in this life, it is most important that we understand and we realize that the person that we are is not the person that we are going to consistently be and follow through in this life as. As humans, we are constantly evolving, constantly elevating, and constantly turning into different versions of ourselves. The person I was 3 months ago is not the same person I am today. And you can take that and say it for 2 weeks, 2 years, whatever it may be. The speed at which we are changing in this life varies from person to person. We are constantly evolving and changing, whether we are going backwards, forwards, whatever it may be. The way that people change is not linear. Not just constantly going from this to this to this to this. We track a little bit, come back up, go forward, maybe we come back a little bit more, and then we keep going forward. It's important to recognize those patterns and recognize that we are going to be tested the most when it is time for us to elevate. When it is time for us to move forward and become a greater version of ourselves. When life decides that, hey, it is time for us to get out of this hole that we have been in, that is when you are going to get the most BS thrown at you. It is seeing what you can endure. It is shaping you and it is molding you into the person that you are meant to become. Okay, moving on to number 2. Create a firm foundation in who you are and what you want out of life. Establish your moral code, what it is you live by, and what it is you follow through with. Now for this one, I want to start by reading this post that I had posted several months back when I was talking to one of my friends. I was talking to a couple of my friends at the time about this whole concept of principles and morals and creating a foundation for your life. So I'm going to read this post that I posted and then I will kind of piggyback off of that and go from there. I was speaking to a friend of mine recently. Just typical discussion surrounding life achievement and ambition. We got onto the topic of principles and the importance of creating a firm foundation for yourself in order to achieve the kind of life you wish to live. He shared a passage with me from a book he read called Principles by Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio says, "People always ask me, how do I do what I do and how I made the decisions I made, how I created the outcomes I achieved. I tell them you must create a set of principles. I can't tell people how to answer every question or overcome every circumstance. Principles are rules that you should abide by in your decisions and allow them to shape your future. You start with a few principles and you build them and you follow them and you see where they take you. If they do not take you where you want to go, you adjust those principles." This is me talking. This is why I urge people to do the work within themselves and understand who they are, what kind of person they wish to be, and what kind of life they wish to live. Building the framework of your moral code allows you to lay that foundation of principles, which in turn are going to help you with every decision you make in life. Without it, you will always wonder why you're in a place you never expected to be. Figure out what it is you want and say no to anything that doesn't fall in alignment with that. Pretty much what I am trying to say there is creating a foundation for yourself, understanding who you are at your core, what your morals are, what it is that you do follow and what you don't follow, the ethics and the code that you align with. And it's no one answer fits all. You're going to have moments of dilemma. You're going to have moments of nuance. You're going to have those moments where you are torn between two decisions. However, creating that foundation initially, saying this is the kind of life I want to lead, this is the person I am trying to become, and in order for me to get there, I need to do these things. I need to follow this guideline. And again, one size does not fit all. You're going to have decisions you make that are going to be different than your moral code. However, having a moral code and having the foundation of your life already set into this specific line of items and things that it is that you follow and the outcome that you wish to have, it's going to help you make better decisions. It is so incredibly important that you understand who you are before you go out into the world making so many decisions, making so many mistakes, and trying to understand where it all went wrong. You need to figure out who you want to be. What kind of person are you? What kind of life do you wish to lead? How do you want to be viewed by others? How do you want to be viewed by yourself? Are you more of an insecure person, but you wish to have confidence? Well, how are you going to get there? You need to be making those decisions now so that later down the line, they are not stopping you from becoming the highest and greatest person that you can be. Okay, and moving on to number 5. Mental health is incredibly important to maintain. Get the help you need. I'll make a separate video on this because I feel like mental health speaks near and dear to my heart so closely, because I have been through so much, so much that it's hard to talk about, but it is important to talk about. So many of my friends, my family have struggled with their mental health. Personally, I struggle with my mental health. The only reason I have gotten the motivation to start making videos again is because I got help for my mental health. I am officially medicated. So far, I have been diagnosed with severe depression and bipolar 2, and I am on medication for it. I just started it, but it has honestly saved my life because I was deep in the dumps. I was dealing with so much shit and I was in a pretty dark place, and I have gone back to that dark place multiple times in my life, but this past time was really like I was stuck there. I'm not gonna lie, I was stuck there for the longest time, but that is why I cannot stress enough how important your mental health is. You need to be okay in here in order to be okay out here. Interact with other people, to interact with yourself, to feel okay with yourself, to trust yourself, and to love yourself. You need to be okay in here. I cannot stress it enough. If you need help, reach out to a friend, reach out to anybody, reach out to mental health professionals. It took me I think 8 therapists to find the one that I have now that I actually feel like she is able to help me. And then after a year of just therapy, I have finally decided to see a psychiatrist. So it takes time, and that is okay. Take all the time you need, but your healing is so incredibly important and you need to make that a priority. Okay, moving on to number 6. I'm gonna read this one again before I lose my train of thought. Don't worry, one day I will get better and not have to use a script, okay? I promise. Fear is the biggest thing holding you back. Ask yourself what you would do if you were not afraid, and do exactly that. The entire trajectory of your entire life can be altered by one decision. One decision. And 9 times out of 10, that decision cannot be made because there's something standing in the way, and it is fear. It is fear of failure. It is fear of not being good enough. It is fear of what will happen. It is fear of the what ifs, of what will happen if you make that decision. If you finally decide, I'm gonna start filming for YouTube, I'm gonna start creating content, I'm gonna move across the country, I'm gonna tell that person I love them, whatever it may be. If fear is the thing that is holding you back, I want you to snap out of it for 2 seconds and imagine, what would life be like if you made that decision and fear was not a factor? Envision that, feel it, and do it. Because that is exactly what you need to be pushed forward. That could be the one thing that is going to change the entire trajectory of your life. That could be that one decision that gets you to that point that you want to be at. That could be that one decision that gets you to the top. And I need you to understand that. Take your fear, harness it, and use it to push you towards what you want to do. Number 7, make sure to make your hobbies a priority. It is so easy to get caught up in life. It is so easy to get caught up in working, in paying bills, in paying off debt, in going to school, whatever it may be. It is so easy for that to happen. However, a life filled only with working, only with doing the necessities and surviving is a life that lacks substance. You need to be able to prioritize yourself. You need to be able to have your self-care days. Have the days that you go and paint, you go for a run, you go and you do whatever it is that makes you happy. Only spent working is a life that is miserable. It is a life with no substance, and I think you owe it to yourself to do the things you enjoy, to take the money you are making and do things you enjoy. It's so important to take care of your mind, your body, and your soul, and that includes nourishing it in a way that makes it so that you are happy with the life that you are living. You are happy with the life that your job is paying for. Okay, number 11, stop people pleasing. Please. You need to be okay with saying no. You need to be okay with standing firm in your decision when it is not the popular decision. And when it comes to other people, you are allowed to love people from a distance. You're allowed to love people, but understand that what they can offer you, the level of life that they have to offer you, is limiting due to what you need out of life and what you need from them. So I want you to stop people pleasing. Stop letting people walk all over you. Stop making decisions so that this person won't get mad, so that they'll stay with you, so that they'll still be happy with you. Stop that. Quit. Don't do that. Be okay saying no. Setting boundaries. You need to learn to do that for yourself. Otherwise, going back to number 2, again, setting that foundation for yourself. If you don't set it for yourself, honey, somebody else will. Moving on to number 12, get rid of your negative mindset. Get rid of it. Throw it out the window. It's gone. No more. You are not allowed. That is over. You are done having a negative mindset. Pessimistic attitudes are going to hold you back every single time. Remember when I said be so delusional about your dreams that until it becomes a reality? I need you to be so delusionally happy as well, and so delusionally positive, because there is power in the tongue. There is power in the words that you speak. So if you're constantly speaking negatively upon your life, upon yourself, about who you are, about how you look, about what your life is destined for, that's exactly what your life is going to look like. There is power in the way that you speak about yourself, about your situation, about your life. Always express gratitude, positivity, and always remember, just stop being negative. Stop filling your thoughts with those negative ideas. Number 13, community is so important. Girl, don't spend your life alone. I don't care how hyper independent you are. I don't care how much of a I don't need nobody, I am good on my own, I can take care of myself kind of person you are, because I am exactly the same way. And guess what? I, Miss hyper independent, don't need nobody over here, can tell you community is important. Find people who love you. Find people you love and let them love you. It is so incredibly important to build a strong support system and strong support team, because if you don't have that and then you find yourself in crisis, it is going to make things 10 times worse. And another thing to know is that building connections in your life is going to allow you to get further in life. It is so important for you to find people that are like-minded, find people in life who already have the things that you want, and introduce yourself. Become a part of their life and figure out how they can help you get to where they are. Every relationship does not have to be transactional, and I'm not saying it should be, but I'm saying that you should be friends with people and you should only be taking advice from people who have the life that looks like the life you want and you envision for yourself. An important thing to remember when you're building your support system, yes, have people who you love and who love you, but make sure that whoever you are taking advice from and whoever is supporting you in those times of need is somebody worth supporting you, if that makes sense. So last but not least, with that one, getting help is okay. Talking to other people is okay. And reaching out to your community for help is okay. Number 14 is one that I absolutely adore, and it is remember that this is your first time being human, but it is also everyone else's first time being human. It is your first time, your friends, your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your teachers, everyone. It is all of our first time being human. When we remember that and we take that into account, it allows us to create more empathy for each other. It allows us to understand each other and understand that mistakes can be made, mistakes will be made, and it is important to know that while it is your first time being human, it is also the next person's first time being human. So offer everyone grace. Offer everyone forgiveness, and offer everyone love, even if it is not the first choice you want to make. Because let me tell you, the amount of times that I have been angry, I have not been a good person, I have acted out of emotion, and so many people have still offered me grace without, me deserving it. I cannot thank them enough. Because sometimes you don't know what the next person is going through. So make sure you are always treating the other person how you want to be treated. Number 15, there is no timeline for what your life is meant to look like. Take all the time in the world that you need to do something, to accomplish something, to get through something, to get over something. Whatever the situation may be, understand that your timeline is going to look different than the next person's. All these people that you see on social media and you see their life looking so great and you're wondering, well, why can't I have that? Their timeline is just different than yours, and that is okay. You are on your own unique adventure and you need to embrace that. Number 22, with me being 22, it's kind of perfect because it is creating stability in your own life is so incredibly important. And I say that pertains to me because I finally have created my own stability in my own life. I have finally settled into a house of my own. I have my own space, my own stability. So hallelujah, praise Jesus. But with that being said, make it a priority to have a stable living environment, a stable job and income. And that goes back to make sure you can trust yourself, make sure you can support yourself and are only relying on yourself and nobody else. Number 23, people come and go. It's just the way of life. Never, ever, ever be afraid to let go of a relationship with somebody, whether it be friends, family, a relationship that's like an intimate relationship with somebody. Never be afraid to let go of a person because at the end of the day, people are always cycling in and out of your life. It is just the way it goes, and you should never get too caught up on people. And I hate to say it like that because it just sounds cold and bitter, but it is the sad truth. It is the harsh truth that if you love somebody, let them go, because what is meant for you will always come back to you. And if it was not meant for you, then you should never want it in the first place. In the meantime, focus on being so unapologetically yourself and building a life for yourself. The right people will come to you. The right people will stay. Remember, tend to your own garden first before you go tending to someone else's. Because when you tend to your own garden, the butterflies will attract to your garden and you won't have to spend your time chasing them.